Hello everyone, how's it going? In this tutorial, we'll be testing the latest version of the Webflow MCP, and also we will be using it with the Figma MCP to see how this process of Figma to Webflow goes, and also to see if it's still worth it to use Webflow nowadays. Okay, so in order for us to get started, we will be using this repository that we just created, which is called Figma to Webflow Starter. Right now this is private, but I will make it publicly available, so you can download it here, clicking here code and download the zip file, uncompress the file, and then open it with Claude. With Claude here. You can use the desktop app, or you can also use a visual editor, IDE, like Visual Studio Code. So let's get started. I'm going to be using an IDE. It's completely up to you which one do you want to use. So I'm just going to open a terminal here. I'm going to call Claude. I have a shortcut here where I just type CC and it opens Claude with the bypass permissions enabled. And then I'm just going to ask, please, let's connect the Webflow MCP. Pretty straightforward. I don't really need to look into the URL of the Webflow MCP. This should be more than capable to just find the URL that we need to connect to, and it will ask us to get authenticated. Okay, it's installed, but it needs your authentication. I can complete, okay, please run MCP in this session. Okay, let's just type MCP, and then we're going to find Webflow, authenticate. You need to log into your Webflow account, and then just click here, continue, and then select the website that you want to work on. I have already created a project that I want to test this on, and it's called MCP test. So I'm just going to authorize this. Amazing, I'm connected. So this should have context of it. Establishing connection to the MCP. Okay, fantastic. So we are ready to go. Okay, apart from that, I want to make sure that we're connected to the Figma MCP. So this is what I'm going to do. I have a project here as a test. Literally going to go into development mode. I'm going to go here into the MCP. Let's just select something here. I'm going to click in the plus symbol here, and I'm going to copy the local MCP connection here, or URL that I need to connect to. This is only available on the Figma desktop app. You won't be able to have this local connection on the browser, just so you're aware. So I need to make sure, please, let's connect also to the Figma MCP. I just want to make sure that we're connected to the local MCP. Going to paste that URL, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, I want to check where have we connected to the Webflow MCP. I think it has been to the user level, and it's not yet to the project level. Okay, can we make sure these MCPs are connected at the project level? The reason why I want to connect at the project level is sometimes you will have, multiple MCP connections for the same tool, but it's a different project. So we gotta make sure that each individual MCP connection is related to a project. This will definitely improve your experience, specifically using Claude desktop app, which will try to automatically connect an MCP directly to your user level instead of to a project, which tends to be slightly painful. I get the reason why Claude does this is just to simplify the MCP connections, because there might be the case where you just want one single MCP connection for every single project that you have, but that doesn't always happen. So we gotta keep that in mind. Okay, so this was added to the project level, or at a project level. So, okay, let's continue. Now, literally, you have two options. There are two pretty famous frameworks to set up classes and the way that you build things on top of Webflow. One of them is Client First from Finsweet, and the other one is Lumos by Timothy Ricks. So the repository will ask you which one do you want to choose before we get started in this process of going from Figma to Webflow. So let me just copy this prompt here for this homepage, and okay, let's get started with this page on Webflow. Oh, I forgot to send the URL here, but okay, I just added it. So let's see what we get. What's the response from Claude? Maybe we could have set up like planning mode here, but that's completely fine. By the way, just so you're aware, in this repository we have pulled all the skills from Timothy Ricks by Lumos, the Lumos skills that Timothy has under the documentation of Lumos, and apart from that, we pull all of the content from the Client First. So any of which one you choose should have proper documentation about each framework. But yeah, let's see how long does this take to get started. Okay, so it's asking me which framework do I want to choose. Let's just go with Lumos. Let's just go Figma Desktop first. Yes. Let's just submit the answers. By the way, don't mind if this is in Spanish. Sometimes I speak to Claude in Spanish, so it makes sense that sometimes it answers me in Spanish. Okay, so I'm getting asked to restart my session here as the connection to the desktop app, the Figma Desktop MCP was just set up in this session, so it won't have the context of it. So let's just exit here and let's just get started and let's just say continue. Just like it's set. So it's just picking up what was left off in the previous last session, and we just gotta continue here. Oh, so something key that you need to remind, it's that in Figma you need to set up the folder you're working on here. You need to enable it in order for the MCP to work properly. So I'm just going to add the directory, open developer, open the Progress Webflow base, and then that's it, done. So it's asking me for the font file. I won't worry about it now. So I'm just going to say, okay, I added the directory, the allowed, please. So let's keep it running. Okay, so I'm getting asking which website should I set it up. So yes, it's the only site that I have enabled through the Webflow MCP, so it's the correct one. Okay, let's just use the closest one from Google Fonts. I don't want to install or set up a font file right now. So yeah, let's wait once again. Okay, so this is still working, so we're just going to open Webflow and let's just go to Progress V2 here. Let's go to the project and see if we have okay, so we have the global stats here on every single page, just like I shared previously. Amazing. Okay, so let's see how we get started on building the homepage. I already shared all the context of this design here, so it should do a pretty good job as this is a pretty clean Figma design. It's well structured. As you can see here, we have all of these frames, sections, proper naming for each component. So let's see, let's just wait. Okay, so far this is what we got. It's not bad, but it's not perfect either. I'm wondering what's going on here. Yeah, it's definitely going to take it a little longer. Yeah, not the greatest experience so far. It's just too slow and it's been pretty painful so far. I haven't done anything yet. I literally just share the Figma MCP, the Figma URL of the page, and then I'm literally just waiting. For example, these arrows right here are not properly set. This right here is taking some time. The logos are stretched. So yeah, let's just keep waiting until this finishes. The class naming is decent, I think. Yeah, the class naming for the elements is pretty decent. It's pretty clear, which is super good. And this definitely saves time. If you're building with Webflow, there is no brainer. Like, you gotta use the MCP. But the question is if you don't really need to use Webflow, unless a client has requested it, or there is a project that it's already running on Webflow, it's a must that you use the Webflow latest MCP. Like, it's definitely way better than the previous MCP so far. So useful. And once again, well done, Webflow team. This is useful, and this is something that definitely will save time for the people that is still using Webflow. Now, it's hard. I don't know if I would recommend this to a client. For me, the prices of Webflow don't make sense anymore. And unless a client want a visual way, like they want to use Webflow because even if they want a visual editor for themselves, you can set up one with Sanity CMS, and I don't know if it's worth for them to use Webflow for pay for Webflow. Even thinking about scaling, right? Like, if the client, I don't know, scales the website and they start having a lot of traffic on the website, like, the enterprise prices of Webflow are nonsense. So yeah, it's hard to see if this is useful. If you already have a Webflow project and you don't want to migrate it, and it's a pretty large one, I will suggest 100% use the MCP. If the client requests the MCP from Webflow, requests for you to build the website in Webflow, I will also suggest this. But if those are not the scenarios, it's hard to say, yeah, you should use Webflow. Okay, so we got the response from Webflow from the MCP, and this is the Figma design. And it's close, but it's not there yet. We have the hero, which looks okay. I know I didn't install the font, so that's not ideal, but either way, like, it created a design. This is decent, but then all of a sudden we have a space there, which doesn't look good. This wasn't properly done. The logos were not done properly. We have the logos, but they all look stretched, which we can fix. This is something we can fix. This is also something that we can fix. The same here. This looks pretty clean. Once again, the logo is something that to fix. I think if you just make sure that we just, yeah, change the logo to fit instead of cover or something like that. It should improve the, the stretch of the image. But so far it's good, but it's not quite there yet. After the testimonial section, I don't know what we have there, but yeah, like this section here, yeah, was pretty off. This was pretty decent. This was also pretty good. I don't know if this also makes it mobile. Oh yeah, because part of the repo is if the process of making something responsive. But the footer looks good. The footer looks perfect, really. So there are things that are nice, but there are others where you will definitely need to iterate more than once in order to get the result that you were expecting from Figma. Which, if right now you use the Figma MCP plus the proper context of the project, you shouldn't be iterating that much here. So yeah, that's my take. My opinion is definitely that if you're using Webflow and you have a project actually working on Webflow and you need to create something new, make sure that you're using the Webflow MCP. If you have a client that is requesting to use Webflow specifically, also use the MCP, because this will save you a ton of time. Then you can update the font for certain things. You can then take care of this manually or ask it to. Something that I heard on another tutorial, it's better to first build or let the AI tool, any AI tool that you're using, build the design Figma on HTML and CSS, and then migrate it to Webflow after that process. So it has a better, more context of how exactly this should be built in Webflow. But yeah, if the client hasn't requested to use Webflow and you're just looking to move as fast as possible, definitely I wouldn't be using Webflow. Unless the client once again requests it specifically. If they want a visual editor, you can also give or use Webflow as an option, but also you can set up something with Sanity CMS to create a visual editor for your client. The thing is, something to keep in mind is the authentication process. I think Sanity also has that. You need to get authenticated in order to be able to make updates. So they handle that part as well. So it's literally you setting up anything that should be dynamic for them to edit inside the Sanity CMS UI. So yes, I hope you guys enjoy this short tutorial on how to use the Webflow MCP and the results that I got, so you can also test it on your end and see if you find it useful. Thank you very much for watching.